cannot let her sabotage our relationship.
And I knew that if I told you that I was having doubts, that you would sabotage our whole relationship, which you did anyway.
Sabotage, assassination, mass murder.
Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to dig into a really powerful and, let's be honest, kind of sneaky word. A word that describes a very specific kind of failure. The word sabotage. So what does it really mean? But first, let me ask you something. Have you ever poured your heart and soul into a project? You work for days, maybe weeks, everything's going great, and then boom, right at the finish line, something just mysteriously goes wrong. Okay. Picture this. You've spent an entire week putting together the perfect presentation. The night before it's due, you go to do one last check, and the file is just gone. Poof, vanished from the computer. And of course, that leads to the deadline hitting. You've got nothing, and the whole project fails. It's an absolute nightmare, right? So, what's the word for that? What do you call it when someone secretly and completely on purpose makes sure that something fails? That word, of course, is sabotage. It's the act of intentionally, and that is the key word here, on purpose, destroying, damaging, or just getting in the way of something. It is not an accident. It's a planned move, just like deleting that crucial presentation file right before it's due. But here's where the story gets really fascinating. The history behind this word is, well, it's pretty surprising. And believe it or not, it all starts with a simple wooden shoe. Yep, this is a sabot. It was a type of heavy, clunky shoe, usually carved from a single piece of wood. It was worn by working-class folks in places like France and the Netherlands hundreds of years ago. So let's jump back in time to 19th century France, right in the middle of the Industrial Revolution. New, complicated machines were showing up in factories, and a lot of workers were afraid these machines would take their jobs. So, as the story goes, they fought back with what they had. They would literally throw their heavy wooden sabots right into the gears of the machinery. And the result? The machine would just grind to a halt, totally broken, and production would stop dead in its tracks. And that is the connection. The French verb for, clunking around in these shoes or for wrecking something with them was saboter. And from that very action, that original act of protest, we get our English word sabotage. So, that word has come a long, long way from a French factory floor. Let's take a look at how this powerful idea pops up in our world today. I mean, sabotage is everywhere once you know what to look for. At work, it could be something subtle, like forgetting to copy a coworker on a crucial email. In politics? Oh yeah, it's spreading false rumors to make an opponent's poll numbers crash. In tech, a computer virus designed to take down a network is a perfect example of digital sabotage. But maybe the most surprising kind of sabotage is the kind you can do to yourself. But hold on, how does that even work? What does it possibly mean to sabotage your own success? Well, the difference is actually pretty simple, but it's a huge one. Workplace sabotage is all about messing with someone else's success. But self-sabotage, that's when you do things that hurt your own success. And here's the really tricky part. It's often unconscious. You might not even realize you're doing it. Here is a classic example. You've got a huge exam coming up, but instead of studying, you decide to clean your entire apartment or start binging a new TV show. Why? Well, because deep down, you're afraid that even if you try your absolute hardest, you still might fail. So by procrastinating, you're basically creating a built-in excuse. You are, in a weird way, sabotaging your own shot at success just to protect yourself from the feeling of failure. Okay, so now that we get the what and the why, let's get practical. How can you actually use the word sabotage like a pro? So one really important thing to know is that this word is flexible. You can use it in two main ways, as a noun, which is the act itself, and as a verb, which is the action of doing it. For instance, as a noun, you could describe what happened. The deletion of the file was an act of sabotage. But as a verb, you describe the action itself. He tried to sabotage my presentation. See the difference? Knowing that helps you use it perfectly every time. So just remember, two ways to use it, the act and the action. All right, if you remember just one thing from all of this, make it this. The key takeaway is that sabotage is always a secret and it's always a deliberate act. It's done on purpose with the specific goal of making something fail. It's never, ever an accident. So, I'll leave you with this question. Now that you really get this word, Where are you going to start seeing it? In the news, in movies, or maybe even in some of your own habits? Thanks for joining me.